changing lives.
Imagine being brutally attacked and thinking you were going to die by being burnt and hacked to death. Wouldn't you lose all hope? David Anyele overcame a terrible situation and has become an inspiration to us all, a shining example of the greatness that is possible for all Nigerians. Let's take a look at his story.
My name is Onwasanya Emole Shedrack. I'm a retired soldier. I'm an estate surveyor. I'm presently into business. I first met David Anyele in 1998 at the military hospital Yaba, Lagos. I noticed that David has no two hands, and I demanded to know actually what happened to him. And he told me his story.
Yeah, I was in Freetown, Sierra Leone in January 1999 after the RUF rebel of Freetown, Sierra Leone invaded Freetown. They captured my residence and took us to another location where they tortured us. About 50 Nigerians were there. At the end, they began to cut off our limbs. They said any attempt for me to resist, that they are going to open fire on me and shoot me. The people who were there were between 11 and 14 years children who were holding this AK-47. And while I tried to continue with the negotiations, they kicked me to open fire. It was then that I positioned my left hand and I asked them they can cut it. So they macheted this and cut it. So while I said, should I go? They said no, that they want to cut off the right hand. Then I asked them how much do they need so that I can buy my right hand. They said no. So while the negotiation was going on, the other boy wanted to open fire on me. Then I said no. I said, you can cut my right hand. So I gave them my right hand, they put it on a stool, and they chopped it off. So why the pain and agony was going on, I started praying and asking God to help me. One of the rebels said, why must I call God in this process? They went and brought fuel and poured on me and set me on fire. The situation during the period of the torture was excruciating. First of all, for you to cite the killing of another person and for you to see that you are the next turn to be killed, it was most traumatic, it was most painful. I don't know how to describe it. In fact, it's an eyesore. You know, I was thinking that I'm going to die. I never believed that I can go to the valley of the shadow of death and come out. It is a miracle. And it was while the fire was blazing that the commander came and said they should off the fire and asked me to go and show my condition to the Nigerian government.
By the time I met David at the hospital, he was retarded, physically and mentally. Nobody really gave him hope because he began to wonder at his age, how would he survive? Those that have hands, have legs, find it difficult to survive in our economy in Nigeria. Then how is this young man going to survive? But he refused being assisted. That's the spirit of a young man that wants to survive. I remember one day he called me on the phone And he said, Emole, no one is immune to disability. That is the driving force of the young man you are seeing today, David Anyele.
David is a loving man, a kind man. He loves his children so much. He loves me, the wife, and he's a passionate man. He loves even people around us too. He's a kind man. He's a man to be with at all times.
When are you finishing your activities at?
He has become an advocate for disabled. He's also participated and became a voice for the disabled.
To be accessible by all.
But he also contributed in passing the Disability Act in Lagos State.
My husband is, I've never seen the kind of person before. He has this passion.
He's a man with passion for persons living with disabilities. He doesn't even think of himself but to touch other people's life, fighting for their own self.
David have achieved so much within this short period of time or without any resources. And I believe that if David is empowered, I so much believe that David will turn this NGO to a mega NGO that will last the test of time. And I believe if David gets all this, and I believe strongly, it will help him to touch the lives of many.
You know, running a disability project in Nigeria is not cheap and it's not easy because there are minimal attention that is paid to issues of disability and human rights. And I believe that if I'm able to address some of these constraints, then my performance will increase, my engagement will equally be high, we'll equally be able to touch various places ordinarily we've not done. So people don't feel there's something good that will come out of it.
I believe that when assistance comes from David, is going to go places.
I need artificial limbs. The one I'm using now is packing up. With my artificial hand, I can drive my car, I can move to meeting, I can go for speaking engagement where I can lead actors, state and non-state actors, on how to create an inclusive society that is free from discrimination.
If this man that has nothing to live on could still live to help others, why not I join force with him and see what we can do to the entire world?
Wow, such a moving story to see a man go through so much only to dedicate his life to helping others. After the break, we'll have David Anyele right here in the Airtel Touching Lives studio. Don't go anywhere.
Touching Lives.
Welcome back to Airtel Touching Lives. Join me as I welcome my guests, David, Anne, and Emole. Welcome to the program. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you for just being inspiring, full stop. The first thing I want to ask you, David, is what is the thing that helped you get through all of those difficult moments?
I'm so honored and privileged to have, good family, friends, the likes of Emole. God gave me a new set of friends. I always say, for you to overcome your challenges, you need spiritual renewal. If you are renewed in the spirit, then the outward will be much more easier. So I was renewed in my spirit. That was how I was able to pick up my broken pieces and look at the ones I cannot do and set it aside. The ones I can do, I forge ahead to keep doing it. That's what keeps me going.
And as his wife, I know that you get to see the parts of him that not everybody else gets to see. And I'm sure you've seen him at his down times. And how does it make you feel when you see his down times?
When I see his down times, I want to do something that will make him happy. because as a disabled, challenged man, you know, he wants to think of what he can be able to do. And if he cannot do those things, he'll feel so bad. So if he's on that times, you try to make him happy.
David, I mean, despite living with a disability, and I can only imagine how difficult that is in itself, especially when you were fully abled before. How are you dealing with the emotional and psychological aspects of things? Because we can't deny that that exists.
Yeah, it exists. It's hurting, it's painful, but I try my best not to allow it to overwhelm me. When it is painful, when it's time for me to cry, I cry. If it's time for me to laugh, I laugh. If I stay in an environment that is too hostile for me due to attitudinal issues from people, I avoid such crowd. I don't stay in an environment where people bring me down. I stay where people appreciate my value so that I can be able to live and be all I want to be.
How important has love and support been in helping you, both healing and just being able to carry on doing the things that you're doing?
You know, love from, friends and family members. Let me tell you what happened. None of my family members came to see me. But the day my uncle came, he asked me, what did I do that led to my limb loss? I said, I did nothing. He said, are you sure? I said, yes, I didn't do anything. He said, for the fact you didn't do anything, I'm going to do everything within my reach to make sure you are rehabilitated. That statement, my family accept my condition. And I want to use this opportunity to tell people under the influence of this program that if you have a beloved one who is living with disability, all he needs from you is love and support. Not discrimination, not stigma, not isolation, not abuse, not negligence. Support.
And what do you envision for him, for his future?
A lot. A lot. I see him do mightily things, things that has vision, big vision. If he begin to tell you what he has in mind, you marvel. I know he has a plan for the disabled people. I know he has a plan for his family. I know he has a plan for Nigeria as a whole.
Wow. Mole, as a friend, he's completely inspiring. And how does it make you feel when you see that despite all the challenges, he still gives so much of himself to helping other people?
David is a very inspiring young man. And I've discovered he's a man who has given life a hope to live. And for me, this is just the beginning. There are more things that will be seen out of this young man you are seeing today.
Wow. I was choking back tears when I was watching your story because I thought I'll be crying throughout the, speaking to you, but I'm just smiling because I've never met any human being like you before, filled with so much positivity and support and love. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you for just staying alive, for what you're doing for Nigerians, for Nigeria. Oh, my dear.
Really?
And I just want to say thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
And I hope that you continue to do the work that you're doing.
Thank you so much.
And I'd like to thank your friends. And Molly, I'd love to thank your wife for support, for giving him the support that he needs to continue to do this amazing work that he's doing as well. And of course, we are all about touching lives here.
Was too.
And you've done fantastically on your own, even with little to no help. What we want to do is that we want to help you with office equipment. We want to give you laptops, desktops,
wow,
monthly internet, scanners, printers, reams of paper.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I must thank you so much for this support. There is no amount of support that is too small for us because virtually everything we are doing stems from support from organizations like yours. So I really thank you so much for this support. It's going to go a long way to enhance our performance, to enable us to reach out to those ordinarily we cannot reach. I thank you so much. We are grateful.
Thank you so much for being on the program. Thank you for inspiring Nigerians, for the work that you're doing, for not giving up hope. I just want to say I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We are grateful.
Wow, what a way to start off season 2 of Airtel Touching Lives. If that isn't inspirational, I don't know what else is. Just imagine you going through so much, yet still taking your pain and using that to transform other people's lives. Until next time, see you on Airtel Touching Lives.
touch your life. I wanna be the change. I'm gonna shine my light. I'm gonna make a difference.